What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Dudes Who Bet Sports.
So you want to bet sports, but you need some advice on how to cash in big at a heck of a price. Well, if you want enough money to line your shorts, then you're in the right place. This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dudes Who Bet Sports Show. Our editor, Magic, had to put us in because my mouse died right in the middle of me trying to put us onto the screen. So thank God Magic was here today to save us. Papa Dude, I was panicking trying to plug the mouse in. It is plugged in, but it is
You
dead.
think
How's it
you
going,
were?
Papa Dude?
You think you were? I was thinking, okay, what have I screwed up tonight? Touching the mute button on and off, and you know, just panic city here. And anyway, I'm doing great. I got a little bit of personal Christmas shopping done this afternoon, and feel fairly good about it. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah, I was panicked. I was definitely in a panic. And I was trying to text Magic real quick, and it's like I texted him just a little late. So no, I'm doing good. Other than that, let's see if it's working now. Hold on. Okay, we're back. The mouse is back. So we're good to go here. Here, Magic forgot. Let's put that. Oh, there we go. Now we really look official. All right. So yeah, it's good, man. I'm excited for tonight. This is going to be a weird thing for me tonight. Here's my situation. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay. Obviously, a big fan of the Cardinals, so I'm rooting for the Cardinals.
Mhm.
But I'm betting the Rams, okay? And my fantasy situation, if I win, which it looks like I'm going to, I just need 5 points out of Cup tonight. That's going to happen.
Oh, I think so.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. But I also need a team to lose for me to make the playoffs. And she's behind by 61 points, but she has Sony Michel, she has DeAndre Hopkins, and she has Kyler Murray. So if Murray, who's my favorite player on the Cardinals, has a huge game, it's actually going to be bad for me tonight. So this is going to be tough to watch this. I've got a lot of different rooting interests tonight.
So you have to root against the Cardinals. Basically.
Sort of do, yeah, for fantasy and for my betting purposes. Yeah, I do. So.
Well, this is why I never have anything on the team I like.
I know. Yeah. This is, well, and like I said, the fantasy aspect of it is, so here's the deal. My fantasy team got going late in the season. We were really bad, and then we really got on a run. If I make the playoffs, I have a legitimate shot to win. Like, I'll be the lowest seed, but have scored more points than anybody else in the league. So I really need to get in. I can win. We play for a decent amount of money, and I think I can win it. So that's
and the other thing is too, your Cardinals have a little bit of breathing room.
Correct.
If they lose, you know, the problem is they let the Rams back in the hunt for the division.
Yeah,
they can clinch the division pretty much tonight. So
yeah, for sure. Well, how Russ says, it's hard to hedge that many scenarios. That's right. You just got to let them all play out, Russ, and hope a couple of them work out in your favor. Let's get right to I want to pull up the screen now. Let's get right to the game tonight. Where am I at? Oh, gosh, I'm all over the place.
You got next week on there.
There we go. All right. Yeah, I know. We were talking about next week, and I forgot to change it back. All right, let's talk about this game. Arizona tonight, a 3-point favorite at home against the Rams. The Rams desperately need to win this one. Arizona, like I said, they've got some cushion, but it would only be a game lead in that division if they lose tonight. How do you see this one going?
Well, I think it's going to be a heck of a game. I think the Rams are going to bring everything they've got, don't you?
Yes.
Don't you think they're going to play their best game tonight?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Again, we've talked about the Cardinals all year. I think neither one of us really believes in them fully, do we? I mean, each week they prove us wrong. It just kind of feels like a game they may lose tonight. But the other side of it is if they win tonight, they can pretty well take a little break on the division because they've got it. I think they'd have a 3-game lead with 4 to go.
Yeah.
It's a huge game. Should be a good one. 2 really good teams. The Rams need it a lot worse than the Cardinals do. But right now, if the Cardinals win, they've still got a game lead on the number 1 seed in the NFC too. So this is a big game tonight.
That's right. They could stay clear of what would be, if they lost this game, would be a 3-way tie at 10-3 for the top. And then if they, like I said, if they win, they stay clear a game. So it's what's more desperate, a team trying to stay in the hunt to win the division, or the team trying to position for that first place, seed. Man, it's going to be a good game. I really agree with you. I'm excited about it as well. A couple comments here. Martin is trying to close out a 7-team parlay, so he likes the over tonight. That would be amazing. I hope you get it. So let's go points. The over-under is 51, Papa Dude, since Martin's talking about it. And then Dennis, I'll read yours as well. He took the first half over of 24.5 and also the over of 51. And then a couple of other props. Let's talk about the over-under here, Papa Dude. 51 points. What do you think?
It's right on the line, I would think. It's just right there. I can see 27-24, can't you?
Yep.
It's just right there. So that can go either way. I think I'd go under, but it's just me.
That's not what our people want to hear.
I know, but I don't know. Sometimes you get in games like this, the defenses play a little better than the offenses, although that hasn't been the case overall this week. So it's just right there. It's just a tough line. It really is.
Yeah, and as Martin says, no Ramsey tonight, and also no Higsby for LA. So that will make a difference in the game for sure. I think the key, Martin and Dennis and everybody that has the over, it's the pass rush of Los Angeles. If Arizona can protect the quarterback tonight, I think Kyler Murray will have a pretty big game. We saw Arizona healthy for the first time in a while. I really liked what I saw from them. Like I said, if you can cover or protect the quarterback tonight, I think the Cardinals are going to have a lot of success. That being said, I am going to take the Rams plus the 3. If I had to choose an over-under, I would go over. But I'm with you, Papa Dude. I think it'll be close. That line's
just right there.
Yeah, I think you might sweat this one out to the fourth quarter for sure. But we certainly will be rooting for the over in that 17 part.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Yeah. And Martin says it's hard to contain him in the pocket, and that's why they've got to get to him early. It's not a give him 2-3 seconds, and now we're on him, and now he can escape. They're going to have to get pressure quickly. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's going to be a hell of a game tonight. All right, let's recap some NFL from the week, and it was an odd week, is how I put it. A lot of games that looked like they were going to be blowouts. Some stayed blowouts. Some got really tight. This game got really tight. We'll start with Thursday night game. The Vikings do beat the Steelers 36-28. So a huge win for the Vikings. They were running away with this thing.
Oh, yeah.
The Steelers come back and threw a pass into the end zone last play of the game. 2 hands on the ball with a tight end. It would have been a great catch, but he drops it, and the Vikings hold on. What do you think of this one?
Well, I picked Pittsburgh, and it was 29-0, and I turned it off because I was so damn mad. And I thought, well, so the next morning I'm walking, taking my 2-mile walk every morning, and the guy I walk with goes, God, did you see the end of that game last night?
Yeah.
I said, it was 29-0. What could be good about that? And then he tells me what the score was. Couldn't believe it. I absolutely could not believe Pittsburgh came back in that game and had a chance to win it. So 2 teams that, God, who knows what they're going to do each week. And now here's Minnesota back. I buried them last week.
Yep. And
now they're back with a shot again. I think Pittsburgh's on their last breath in the other conference.
I think they both still are in trouble because of that future schedule they've got. But, yeah, they're both in it. These 2 teams just aren't very good. I don't think either one ultimately will be in the playoffs. So let's move on to the Sunday games. And this one, I just laugh because the Browns every week, it's a new adventure. So the Browns take on the Ravens. They jump out ahead. They're looking great. I mean, they played a great first half. They're ahead 24-6 at the half. Lamar's hurt. I text Jared. I said, this is bad. Lamar got hurt. Ravens have a shot now. And, Huntley came in and played decent. He did make some mistakes in this game. But The Browns hold on and win 24-22. What did you think of this one?
Well, I have changed my strategy with the Browns. I just don't watch them. I don't pay any attention to them. And and then you texted me and you said, what was it? You said the Browns are back or something like that. And I thought, what is it, 40-0? And I looked at the score and it was 17. And I thought, oh, what? There's a long way to go in this one. And they just about blew this thing. But here's the deal. It was a huge win for them. They're back in the hunt too. No one wants to win the AFC North. No one does.
That's just it. The Browns are 7-6. They've got a home game against Vegas coming up this week. They should win. They absolutely have to win. And then the Ravens are at home, but they take on the Packers. And the way the Ravens have been playing, so we could be looking at here next week when we sit here on a Monday and say, well, shit, the Ravens and the Browns are 8-6. They're tied for the division lead.
Yeah, and looking at their schedule, the Browns. Now, again, these are the Browns, and you can't assume anything, but they've got Vegas this week. And like you said, they have to win.
Yep.
There's just no getting around it. They've still got Cincinnati at home.
Yeah.
And that'll go a long way toward deciding what's going to happen in the playoffs or in the wild card and the division.
Yep.
And then they've got Green Bay, which they're not probably going to win that. But they got a game against Pittsburgh, at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Is it inconsistent? 3 wins is – we should assume they could win 3, right?
Well, I'm not going to go as far as to use the word assume, but they definitely could win 3. They'll probably be favored in all of those games you mentioned. Not the Packers, but the other ones. I don't know.
7.
I feel like 9-8 is more likely. I just do.
I don't know whether
I've watched this team all year.
I would say if they were 10-7, they get in.
Yes.
I just don't know 9-8. I don't know what all the tiebreakers are and all that stuff. So
that's just the key. 9-8. It's going to come down to some weird tiebreakers, and we'll see what happens. The good news is there's like 5 teams tied for 2 spots there in the AFC. So that it's not just one spot they're all vying for. So that will help the Browns for sure.
Yes.
But listen, this win gets them at least.
They have a chance.
The season's back on. I've canceled the Browns season like 5 times. It's back on again. So.
And the reason you canceled it was you thought the North was pretty good.
Right.
And when they kept losing, you're saying, well, they're done. Well, the North is just a bunch of average teams.
To put it in like horse racing terms, it's a closer who's very average, but the pace is falling apart. So the closer has a shot. It's not because the closer's got a big closing kick. So.
Yeah, the closer is not ultra talented.
No, the closer needs that pace to continue to crumble.
He might be winning the only race he can win.
Correct. Yes, absolutely correct. Speaking of a closer that could never win a race, Jacksonville is a mess. They get shut out 20-0 against the Titans. I watched a little of this. The Titans were not impressive, but it was a win regardless. Jacksonville. What do you think? Urban Meyer, certainly this is it. Like one and done, right?
No, I don't think so. But
you think he'll be back next year?
You don't think they'll fire him, do you?
I do, yeah.
You do?
There's a lot of problems at Jacksonville.
A 1-year experiment, huh?
Well, maybe not, but it doesn't look good.
Tremendously big game this week. I don't know whether you've noticed.
Okay, let's hear it.
Houston goes to Jacksonville.
Oh, I can't wait.
Isn't that going to be a dandy? So,
set the DVRs, folks. You're definitely going to want to watch that one.
Maybe Herb's got to win this one. You think?
Yeah, Herb maybe saves his job if he gets a win there. Okay, back to the action here. The Raiders go to Kansas City. This was never a game from the start. The Kansas City Chiefs jump all over them. They dominate 48-9. They have to be the favorites right now to get that 1 seed in the AFC, right?
Oh, I think they are. When you look at their schedule, I don't see another loss on there unless San Diego beats them this week. Don't forget, the Chargers are playing pretty good again. It's Thursday night out in Los Angeles. That will tell us all we need to know. If the Chiefs go out there and win that one fairly easy there,
Absolutely. I think that Thursday night game is the biggest one of the week, and it's on Thursday night. I hate that. I like, now don't get me wrong, I love Thursday night football, but I wish this one would be on a Sunday. But we'll talk about it a little bit later on Thursday. But yeah, big win for the Chiefs as they continue their role. Dennis, your New Orleans Saints picked up a 30-9 win. I thought this was, it wasn't overly impressive. They pulled away late. It was close for a while, but still, they went up there. They got the job done. And, much like the Browns in a way, their season continues with at least a shot, right?
Yeah. So, well, and again, when you look at their schedule that they have left, they're 6-7 right now. I would think 9-8. A 9-8 team's going to get in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
I really think so.
Yep.
Okay, they've got 3 games that they should win. They've got Miami, and I know Miami's playing better, but they've got him in New Orleans. They've got Carolina in New Orleans. They go to Atlanta. That'll be a big game. And they got to go to Tampa. But who plays Tampa any better than New Orleans?
Yep.
And so, 3-1 is very reasonable if they can get straightened out. And there's your 9-8. So they got a shot to get in the playoffs if they can win 3 out of those last 4.
I kind of told you off air, some of these teams, when we go through the schedules, go, well, that's the one they're going to lose. It's the team that wins that game, and there will be one that'll separate themselves, So it could, like I said, who plays Tampa better than the Saints?
They do.
Nobody. Yeah. And I think Dennis, being the pessimist, thinks that they're going to lose 2 of those. Even 8-9 might accidentally get you in. So we'll see that. Maybe that's meaningless. If you go 8-9, you're probably going to get blitzed in the first round. So, all right, let's move on to this one. And this is another one of those games. Looked like a blowout for the longest time. But boy, oh boy, the football team rallies late. Cowboys hold on to win this game 27-20, though. Big win for the Cowboys. They're going to win the division after this game for sure. That's what this means, right?
Sure, that clinched it for them. Any old way they could win, they needed to do that. Sure didn't look like it was ever going to get that close, though. But it ended up kind of a nail biter for the Cowboys, and it was kind of a tough call. Right? I mean, it was the right call, I think, right there at the end. That was a tough break for Washington. And they also lost their quarterback in that game, too, and made that comeback. So Cowboys they've got the division locked up. Now we've got to look and see what the football team's got left in them. That was a tough loss for them. That really was. It's going to come down to between them and the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
They play each other twice in the last 4 weeks. So those are the 2 big games for those 2 teams.
Those games are going to be entertaining. I don't think either team is very good, but they're pretty evenly matched. And I think you could get some really entertaining games out of that. I think you're right. I think that's, those matchups are going to be the key there. And like I said, the football team's still in the playoffs as of today, which is hard to believe. But
and if they win both of those, and they got the Giants at home, well, they're in, I think.
Yeah.
And you can say the same thing for the Eagles. The Eagles have basically the same schedule. All of them play, or the Eagles and the Washington play each other twice, and then they both play Dallas, and they both play the Giants. So the schedules are almost identical for those 2 teams. So if Washington or Philadelphia can sweep those 2 games, they got a shot.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And I think both teams are capable of doing it. It's just going to come down to, well, listen, if the football team, if their quarterback Heineke's out, it's not going to be good. Like that's going to be a big key there. So that could be the thing. Okay. And that's a comment there from Mark. Says 4 weeks left in the NFL season. I don't know if you saw this, Papa Dude. 37 players have tested positive for COVID today. It's all about attrition and who can keep it together and get some momentum. Yeah, injuries, and then like I said, that 37 players test positive for COVID today. That's
37 players today.
Yep.
Why are we surprised?
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, I mean it's the long and the short of the COVID deal. It's worse than ever, but we just have learned to accept it or chose to accept it, But it's running rampant right now. So hopefully all those guys turn out to be all right. Every sport's dealing with it. The Calgary Flames in the NHL not going to play tonight through December 16th. I think they had, I can't remember the number, 6 players, I think, out with COVID. Our
The
Blues have just
oh,
been,
yeah.
yeah,
Just
it's
ran.
just,
Did you see where their minor league team
uh-huh.
they had to stop operations? I think they had 14
Yep.
team personnel and players out at
Yep.
that level. It's what do you mean the Blues need a goalie? We
Yeah,
don't need a goalie.
we've been getting good play from these no names.
We got the worst thing happening to us when the other goalie comes back. Anyway, yeah, I've seen there's a couple of NCAA basketball teams that have had to cancel some games
Yep.
too. So yeah, it's not a good situation.
The problem rolls on, and it's not going anywhere. So that's just, it is what it is. And like I said, it is a battle of attrition. Depth really matters in these situations. It's like, we can talk about the Blues again. They've had some players step up and play really well that nobody's ever really heard of outside of St. Louis. So, or St. Louis fans. So yeah, it's what you have to have happen in sports right now. All right, let's move on. Falcons go on the road and a team that stays alive versus a team that's pretty much done. The Falcons win 29-21 against the Panthers. Everybody was excited when Cam came back. I think Carolina fans are excited he's back now.
Have they won? Have they won a game since
they won the first game?
That's right. They did.
Yeah, and then they've lost 3 straight, I believe.
Remember when they were 3-0 and everybody thought they were on their way? And,
yeah,
2-8 since. Of course, they've had quarterback problems, and Atlanta's another one of those teams. They're not any good, but they keep hanging in there a little bit until somebody officially eliminates them.
Yeah, which should be any time. It's definitely. They're not any good. You said it best. They tried to lose that game yesterday. So, all right, let's move on. Seahawks. Listen, you said something off air, and I'll let you say it on air here. Seahawks win 33-13 against Houston. This game was tight for a little while, and then they pulled away late.
Right.
Seahawks are 5-8. What did you say to me off the air?
I like them better than any of those 6 and 7 teams as far as personnel.
Yeah.
And to me, they have the toughness. They could win the next 4. It's not going to be easy, but they could. They got the Rams next week, and the Rams are coming off a huge game tonight on Monday night. I could see Seattle going into LA and beating them next week. Then they've got 2, I'm going to say gimmies, but nothing's a gimme in the NFL. They got the Bears and the Lions at Seattle.
Yep.
Okay, if they get to 8-8, they end the season in Arizona, the Cardinals may have their seed cinched by then, or at least their spot in the playoffs. They may not play their starters. And I wouldn't bet against Seattle anyway.
Yep.
They have a shot. The key, of course, is they have to win next week.
Yeah, that's it. And again, it's like we've been talking about, guys. There's going to be one of these teams like Seattle that win a game they shouldn't win. So I really believe that that's the one for them that they could circle. Because, like I said, if they go to 8-8 somehow and they go into that Cardinals game, I think they will win. Martin says, even if LA wins tonight, Papa Dude, do you still think Seattle? Let's say has a shot next week to win.
Well, I'm going to use Dennis's old theory. I think this is I don't think it's not a season-defining win for the Rams, but it's a huge one if they get this tonight. So I could see them not being quite as emotional for Seattle. And yeah, I think they can win that game. I do. I just like the way the Seahawks play. They always play hard. It's been offense this year.
Yeah, I don't feel as strongly about that as you do, but I do think they're a team that has a shot to do it. And I have to really disagree with what Dennis wrote here. He said they beat up on the Texans and all of a sudden they can get to the playoffs. Who did they beat last week?
Yeah, they beat a good team they beat the 49ers last week.
Exactly. Who went on to win this week on the road against Cincinnati. That's 2 good wins in a row. Oh, by the way, they had Washington in big time trouble. That's a game they could have won the week before. They're playing better as a whole. It doesn't have anything.
Well, here's the thing. They're 3-8, a horrible season going into that San Francisco game.
Right.
I mean, terrible disappointment. They could have cashed it in.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do it.
Yeah.
They won. And you can get on Pete Carroll all you want. It's called coaching, boys. He gets them to play.
Yeah.
And that's, if you don't like him, that's fine. But you know what? I'll take a senile Pete Carroll any day. There's some of these yo-yos that are coaching some of these other teams. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, I think I don't get the Pete Carroll hate as much as some people. I don't love him. I don't hate him. I think he's decent.
No, I think he's weird, but
yeah,
they don't quit.
Yeah, they don't, and I think they've proven that. I think a lot of people have kind of wrote them off. And listen, they still have a big uphill battle, but this is a team that they might get to 8-9. I think that's more likely. And listen, that might get you in that last spot. We'll see. A team that got a big time win, even though it's the Lions, it was still a big win for the Broncos as far as their playoff hopes and keeping them alive. And a workmanlike win, or not a workmanlike win, an easy win, I should say, 38-10. The Broncos defense, you know what? It's starting to become very, very good, this defense.
Yeah, their defense is really good. They just don't have the quarterback. I just don't think they do to get through the rest of their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Mark made a comment, a very emotional scene in Denver yesterday when they started the game with 10 players on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, they got a penalty, and then Detroit declined the penalty. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yep.
That was a really cool gesture for the Lions. And who knew they didn't have a chance to win anyway because they've already won their game for the year.
Yeah.
But anyhow, there's a good win for them. But, boy, their schedule, I just don't know whether they can win a couple more games. I just don't know.
Well, they got a huge game coming up against the Bengals this week, and it's at Denver, and that's a defining game for both teams. So that's something to look forward to when we talk about the games on Thursday. It's going to be fun. I can't wait for that one. All right, how about this one? The New York Giants go on the road, and they get spanked by the Chargers. The Chargers are starting to look like that team we thought they were, but like we said, the big test is going to be Thursday night. Have they done enough the last couple of weeks to go, hey, you know what? Maybe they can beat the Chiefs.
No.
Okay.
They're the Chargers.
All right.
Yeah. And every time I get excited about them, they lose. Now, I'm rooting for them. I think they're good enough. But Kansas City's got it straightened out, and they're playing really, really well. Like you say, they're heading for that number one seed. So they're going to have a lot of motivation. This will put to rest the playoffs situation more than likely if Kansas City wins. Now, I'll tell you what, though, if there's something happens and San Diego wins, they got the tiebreaker against the Chiefs, and they are in a very, very good spot to win that division.
Yeah.
So this is a huge game Thursday night.
Well, it's massive. It's the biggest game the Chargers have been involved in a while. We'll see. I mean, I don't know, man. I just really think they're talented enough to do it. I just don't think they can do it on the big stage. I really don't. I just think they'll choke in the end. And Martin says Chargers already beat them. That was a long time ago in a game where the Chargers, or the Chiefs turned it over 4 times. Chargers none. I mean, I don't know.
I totally agree with you, Martin. There was no pressure on the Chargers at that time. I think it was the 3rd game of the year, maybe. Mm-hmm. And you're absolutely right. There's a huge difference in this game coming up Thursday night.
Yeah. Dennis, I don't think Dennis says controversial statement here. Bengals and Bills aren't that good. I don't think that's controversial at all. The Bengals, we'll talk about it next. They lose at home, 2nd straight home loss. They lost to the 49ers 26-23. It's not like this is a great 49ers team. I mean, it's a solid team. But on the road, Bengals should have beat them, right?
Well, yeah, they should have. And talk about a gutsy effort by the 49ers. They missed a field goal to win the game in regulation, a field goal that wasn't that long. And they missed it. And then the Bengals got the ball, went down and kicked a field goal. And that meant the 49ers had to equal that or score a touchdown, or they lost, and they went right down the field and did it.
Yeah.
That's a huge win for San Francisco. And Dennis, you're absolutely right. If your record is 7-6, you're pretty shitty. It's that simple. 7-6 is not a good record. And that's one thing I hate about the NFL. There's too many crappy teams. Of course, the parity makes the records, a little different. But yeah, 7-6. No, you're not that good.
Yeah, and I identified New England well, and Martin, I think you were doing the same thing on a show. I don't know how long it's been, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And the biggest reason why is I don't think the Bills are very good. I think they got way overrated. I think they beat a team, like the Chiefs on a big stage when the Chiefs were playing awful. Bills, they're not that good, and they got way behind. They were getting murdered in this game. They come all the way back, they tie it, and then they lose 33-27 in overtime. Right. And Russ says he had the Bengals and the Bills.
Oh,
really tough beats. But yeah, what do you think? Now the Bills are 2 full games behind the Patriots.
Yeah, a couple of comments. First of all, great comeback by the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
A spirited comeback. Here's the deal. They had every chance in the world to win the game in regulation. They were on the 3-yard line, at a first down on the 3 or the 4.
Yeah, I was in the red. Yeah.
Couldn't score
a
touchdown. Had to kick a field goal. They still have all the momentum. They've come back from 24-3. They got it to 27-27. They won the toss and got stopped.
Yep.
And kicked the Bucs down to what? About the 10-yard line or so?
Yeah, they were inside the 20. Yep.
Yeah, and they just go down the field and score.
Yeah.
It's a sign of a loser. I'm sorry, but that's the sign of a loser.
Yep.
A good team wins. Tampa Bay got their ass kicked in the second half, but they figured out how to win.
Mm-hmm.
The other comment that I noticed, and I'm a big Tom Brady fan and I watch him closely, he didn't look very good to me yesterday in the second half. I don't know whether you got to watch it much.
I did. Yep.
He was way off on several throws yesterday that I've not seen him miss very often. So I'm wondering if there's something wrong there, maybe. I don't know.
So I'll pose this question to you, and then while you answer it, if some of us in the chat want to answer this as well, or call me crazy or whatever, you could do either one. I don't care. But I'm with you. I watched the Tampa a lot, and because I like Brady, and I like to watch him. I feel like the last 5-6 weeks he's fallen off pretty bad.
I think so too. He's not as sharp.
Yeah.
And it just makes, and maybe we're seeing things because, he's old and we're just kind of looking at that. I don't know. Yeah. But those were fairly easy passes yesterday that he missed. Several over the middle there. Threw it behind him, threw it in the dirt, Those are passes he makes. And then the one, I think it was towards the end of regulation where he had a guy wide open, not wide open, but he overthrew him just a little bit. How many times have you seen him nail that one right in there? So,
yeah,
I don't know. A little bit of concern, maybe. He may be having some problems. He might be hurt. I don't know.
He might be a little bit, or he's just kind of just getting old. I remember Peyton Manning, his last year with Denver. They won the Super Bowl, by the way, because they had a fantastic defense. But towards the end, he was really good. And when that year, the further it went, he kept going, he just was downhill. And maybe that is starting to happen. It's like I said, this is an older guy. But listen, a big win. They're 10-3.
Oh, yeah.
You know who the real hero to me is Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
He has been fantastic for them. And remember, first of the year, they couldn't run the ball, could they?
Right. And that's a big key for them down the stretch. They've got to take some pressure off Brady because if you look at his statistics, he's thrown the ball more than just about anybody in the league.
Yep.
As Mark says, he's 44.
Yep.
That's a lot of pressure to put on a guy at that age. So,
yeah. And Mark said he's 44. If he can't play tomorrow, he's done enough. But yeah, to the team, I think it's a little concerning. We'll see. And I agree. Mark says Manning was even worse at the end of 2014. He had no zip, dead ducks. The offseason helped, but by the end of 2015, he was clearly done. Exactly.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, and again, they were good enough around him that they were able to get the job done for him. But yeah, he was getting kind of rough. All right, final game. Packers take care of business. They win 45-30. Boy, if you bet them minus 12.5, you were nervous for a long time. Bears jump out ahead. Packers come back. And as a fan of the Packers, I'm not, but saying a fan watching the game, you kind of knew they were going to win. But cover, it was close, wasn't it?
Yeah. And here's the epitome of a bad team. the Bears, who can't score, but normally play good defense, score 30 points, 27 in the first half, and get beat by 15.
Yeah.
That's the epitome of a bad team.
Yep, exactly. And it's just one of those things. They can never beat Aaron Rodgers, no matter who they throw out there, he owns them, and
Brady owns the Bills.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, he for many, many years up in New England. Yeah, and that's that's the other thing. I was talking to my Patriot family friends up in New York, and they were talking. It was before the Patriots playing the Bills. It was the week of the Patriots-Bills game. And they were all nervous. I said, guys, the Patriots own the Bills. Like, forget about last year. The Patriots, they're going to win that game. So
they flashed his record up there against the Bills, 32-3. 32-3, make it 33 now. And I don't know what Rodgers' record is against the Bears, but they usually beat them.
So Magic has a question before we go on to college football coaching jobs. What are Papa Dude's thoughts on Aaron Rodgers' toe? Does Papa Dude consider himself a toe expert?
No, I don't have a foot fetish or any of that kind of stuff. No, I don't. I could care less about Aaron Rodgers' toe and every other part of him. Not one of my favorites. Never was, and after this year, even more so. And I root for anybody that plays the Packers.
I kind of feel like Rodgers is kind of the villain of the league, and he's playing it pretty well. I will say that.
He's playing fantastic. I will say that.
You can't be a villain unless you're really good. Like, you can be an asshole, but if you're like, let's say Cam Newton and you're 5-8 and you're terrible, it's like, well, he's an asshole. Who cares? But
I do like his Jeopardy commercial. I do think he's pretty good on that. But I cannot. No, he is playing fantastic. He is throwing the ball so well. And 21-5 against the Bears. That sounds about right. I wouldn't bet against Green Bay, that's for sure.
No, me neither. I think they're fantastic. And like Russ says, the Packers need the Rams to win tonight.
Yes, they do.
If they do, then the Packers are right there. So
how many times though do the Packers get the home field advantage and get beat?
I mean, a lot. It's hard to believe. And listen, winning the Super Bowl is really, really tough to do. But he's only won it once. Yeah. You don't think that when you think of Aaron Rodgers. You think, oh, he's won a few, just once.
Yeah, and that's the only time he got there, isn't it? Or has he been there twice?
I think they've only been once.
Yeah, I think Favre was the quarterback when Denver beat him.
Correct.
That year. And so, you do think that because they win so many games, but they seem to lose. And maybe it's because they're not that good. He's just so doggone good. He can win those games for him. I don't know.
All right, let's move on to some college football talk. If you go to the website right now, 2 articles Papa Dude posted today talking about the top college football jobs and then the worst of the Power 5 jobs as well. So we're going to kind of go through that, a little bit of that. Thought it was an interesting thing to bring up right now with the coaching carousel still going hot, right? I mean, it's
we want all your comments. Throw them out there, guys.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get everybody's thoughts on this. Real quick,
Aaron, did you make a list?
No, I'm just going to criticize yours as we go.
That's what I figured.
You should have known that. Before I go on, Mark says bowl season is upon us. Full bowl breakdown on Thursday. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go through all of them.
We are?
Huh?
We are?
Yes. Big bowl bonanza on Thursday because the first game is Friday.
There's 44 games.
Well, we're going to go through them quickly. We're going to these.
I was figuring just a week at a time, but okay.
We're going to do both. We're going to preview them all. And then, in 2 weeks, we might have some different information. We'll go through it again. But we are going to go through Bowl Mania. All right. Let's go on about this tonight, or this ranking here. So the number 1 ranked job in
I want you to comment on these.
I'm going to comment.
I wish you would start at 40 though.
Okay, I'll start at 40. We'll scroll back up.
You can skip around.
So Arizona State,
you don't give away the number one at first. That's why I started the article at number 40. See, because no one else will read it if you put number one first.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Arizona State is number 40. I don't care about that one. I think SMU at 39. I think that's a pretty good job. Dallas area recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Boise State at 38. That's pretty good. Minnesota at 37. That's always a job, but you could go 8-4 and they're happy. I think that's good.
That's exactly what I wrote.
Mississippi. Well, there you go. See, this is the first time I even looked at this. Mississippi State. Thanks. I think same. Houston. Yeah. I think might even be a tad better than that because of
I almost moved them up. I almost moved them up because they're moving into the Big 12 and they're in the Houston area. That's a sleeper job right there.
Yeah, I agree. Virginia Tech. I still think that's a pretty decent job. They just need to get the right fit.
They do.
Yeah.
Now there's also other things that go into these, like what the campus is like. What is it a good place to live? Those kind of things. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Michigan State at 33, kind of the same thing we've been talking about. West Virginia fits into that a little bit as well. A little bit more passionate fan base, I think. I'm glad you put this. I thought Central Florida is one of the better non-Power 5 jobs because of location, tradition, like a recruiting, mecca there in Florida. So I think that was a good ranking. I want to talk about this one.
Okay.
Miami at number 30. I think that might be a little high.
Could be. But they have potential because of Florida.
They have great recruiting base. They do have tradition. It's a weird spot, though. They don't have a real rabid fan base.
No, and they don't have a campus. It's not a good place.
No.
They don't have their own stadium.
Yeah.
And that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts.
They play in Hard Rock Stadium where the Dolphins play. Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the old days when Jimmy Johnson was recruiting all the outlaws down there and they were getting away with it, whatever they wanted to do, rape was legal at Miami, I think, then. They had it rolling, but they've kind of got that a little bit under control. And it's not, they've fallen off. It might be a little high. I put them there simply because of the tradition that they've had of the past.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's been a long time since they've been relevant.
I feel like at Miami, you have to recruit the kid who may get you in some trouble. And anytime they've won, that's the kind of guys they've had. So, yeah, I'll see. Listen, I still think it's a pretty good job. I think it's probably about right. I like Utah at 29, a great atmosphere to play in and playing in a conference like that where they can
8-9 wins every year.
Yep.
They're not going to get on you if you win 8, 9, 10. Win the games you should. Good place to be.
So this one, I think a lot of people are going to push back on. Nebraska at number 28. I don't think that's the case anymore.
Do you think it's too high?
Yeah, I mean, listen. This, if you asked me in 1995, it'd say it's top 5.
Well, it would have been 5.
Yeah, but they ran through a lot of different types of coaches up there too. None of them have been able to get it done.
No, you're right. I was going to drop them. I really was, but I just think of the fan base. I think of the atmosphere. I think of the tradition. I'm going to leave them in there maybe for another year. I just couldn't drop them completely out because of that. But I'm not sure they're ever going to get back. They made a huge mistake when they left the Big 12.
Yep.
Because they lost the Texas recruiting area. And they don't have enough athletes in the state of Nebraska to carry them. And it's really hurt them. They used to be able to go down in Texas and get some players because they played in Texas several times a year. And that's really hurt them.
Yep.
And, they were used to be a power football team. Power football doesn't work in college anymore. And they could get, those bigger white kids. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds awful, but they've got those just mammoth white guys to play on the offensive line.
Iowa. They got Iowa type guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and you can't do that anymore. And what has really hurt them is they don't have the skill players.
No, they don't. They don't have the speed anymore. That's the biggest thing about it. Washington at 27. A lot of people go, well, I don't know about that, but that job has been pretty good over the years. When they get the right coach, they're pretty darn good. So I don't disagree with it. Baylor at 26, believe it or not, I think Baylor is a really good place to coach these
It
days.
is.
They pay their coaches well. The athletic department is good across the board.
They pay well, like you said. The facilities down there, their new stadium is first class all the way. There's plenty of football players in the state of Texas. You get the right guy. They're in the Big 12. Oklahoma's out. Why can't they keep doing what they're doing?
Yeah, and I think Dave Aranda will keep being very competitive down there for as long as he's there. Arkansas at number 25. I happen to agree with you. I think that it's a good spot. You can get good enough players there. You play in the SEC. And the expectations aren't over the moon. Like if you have a 8-4 type of season, they're going to be happy with you.
Well, the facilities are second to none. Fayetteville is a beautiful town. It is a great college town. The campus, if you've never been there, it's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
The Northwest Arkansas corridor of Bentonville, Springdale, Rogers, and Fayetteville is like a little city.
Mm-hmm.
The fan base, no one is more rabid than the Razorback fan base. I mean, they're really loyal. The key is you've got to go outside the state of Arkansas and get some players because the state itself produces some Division I players, but not enough.
Mm-hmm.
And the good coaches that have really succeeded down there have been able to do that. And that's the key. I think they're on their way back. I don't know whether they can ever get as good as Alabama and some of those bigger SEC schools.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with everything you just said. I think you've got a pretty good pulse on what's going on down there because we live so close and we have so many family members that are Arkansas people. So
I love going down there. It's a fun place.
Beautiful place. All right, we'll read about 4 or 5 more, and I'll get to the comments, and then we'll read the second half of this.
Okay.
Mississippi at 24, beautiful campus as well. A lot of the same kind of things.
Great college town.
And I think Mississippi and Arkansas, they're interchangeable. You could flip one to the other. It's close. BYU, I think BYU is a great job. 23, I think that's about right.
Yeah, and it's even going to get better because they're moving into the Big 12.
Yep.
They've won there all through the years. They've been really good. So, yeah, that's a great spot.
Yep. Cincinnati at 22, I think that's more of the same. Going to the Big 12, obviously got a lot going for it right now anyway with, the first non-Power 5 school to make the playoff. So, yeah, I agree with Cincinnati. And then Iowa at number 21. That surprises me. I don't know that I would want the Iowa job.
Well, if you'll read what I said.
Okay.
Here's the deal. I'll just read it. Year in and year out, they win at least 8 games.
Yep.
Their fans are extremely loyal. And more importantly, they're realistic. They know. No national titles here, but consistent winning is a given. However, will it change when Kirk Ferentz decides to retire?
Mm-hmm.
So I probably do have it rated too high because I don't think it'll be a job that's in great demand when he leaves.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm back and forth on that one. I think Arkansas, Mississippi, places like that are a better job than Iowa because I think you could get better players.
I accept that perfectly.
Yeah. All right. Let's read some of the comments here. Let's do this one real quick. It has to do with coaching. Levy to OU. So OU has hired Ole Miss's offensive coordinator. What did you think of that hire? Do you like that one?
I like this last comment down here. I don't know anything about him. I never heard of the guy until we started looking for an offensive coordinator. Did you?
Well, no, because I've never really thought. Well, I'd heard of him, yes, but I never really thought about him and how he'd do it at OU because I never thought we would need him.
Everything I've heard is good, and his offenses, at Mississippi have been great. And how much of it is Kiffin? That's the only thing that kind of concerns me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's fine. I just don't know too much about him. I have seen his offenses, and I love them.
Yeah.
The key's going to be, can he keep Caleb Williams there? That's is he got enough to do that?
Well, he's got to keep Caleb Williams there, and he also was there 2 days and got a 4-star recruit.
He did.
He committed from Florida, and now is at OU. So far, so good. But listen, it's all about what happens on that field next year, and that's we'll give you our opinion then, I guess.
Yeah. I'm not. Everybody said he was the best guy out there,
mm-hmm.
and they got him. So yeah, you got to be happy.
Yeah. Russ also says, thank you for skipping basketball on Saturday. OU does beat Arkansas in Tulsa. That was a really good game for us. That we needed that one bad.
I tell you, Russ, I was telling my wife, I said, I would love to go to that game because it's Tulsa's so much closer for us than Norman.
Yep.
But I didn't think I didn't think Oklahoma had a chance to win. So I told her, I said, I'm not going to go down there. I said, because there'll be more Arkansas fans there than OU fans.
And there
were. Here was the difference in that game, in my opinion. When you hit 13 out of 21 threes, you're going to win.
Yep.
And OU just buried those 3-pointers. And the game they lost a couple of nights ago, before that, they couldn't hit a 3.
Yep.
They got beat. Here's the key to basketball. You make 13 out of 21 shots, you got a pretty darn good shot to win when you got a decent team.
I was with you. I thought we'd get beat, but I was talking to some of my Arkansas fans, and not the negative ones. Like our family would say Arkansas is going to lose every game they ever play, but like some of my buddies, and they were like, really? We're not very good, and we're way overrated, and we don't make shots. So I think OU can win. And like I said, OU made shots they usually don't make. That was the big key.
Yeah, they don't hit them like that. And they got on a roll. And I tell you, shooting is contagious. And when you knock down a couple, the next guy thinks he can make one too. And it just keeps going. And Russ is right. Arkansas's defense on the perimeter was terrible.
Well, and Russ, as Arkansas fan as he can get, every 3 was open. You're not wrong. They were open.
Yeah.
But Russ, we usually don't make them open or not.
No,
trust me on that. Like one of my friends was like, "How are you guys not ranked?" I was like, "We lost to Butler. We lost to Utah State."
No, Butler's pretty good. I didn't mind that one though. Utah State, that's different. Yeah, Butler's good every year.
You can't lose.
They would have won that game. They couldn't make a shot.
Yeah,
could not make a shot.
Yeah. Dennis thinks Central Florida is a strong one. We kind of agreed on that one. We felt like that as well. He thinks Miami and Nebraska fell under the bias. You might be right about that. We'll see. Miami's up. My buddy and I, Ryan, we always talk about the Miami job when it comes open every seemingly 2-3 years. And we always are like, God, is that a good job? It's like, yeah, for the right guy, probably is. I think you just have to be the right guy. They really have to get somebody that fits there. So Russ thinks Utah and BYU are really good jobs. We agree with that. Let's see.
Say you disagree with number 20, wouldn't you?
I totally would. We haven't got there yet, though. So,
sorry.
Let me keep going through here. I've lost my train of thought. Mark says North Arkansas is a blast. The steakhouse on Dixon Street, hidden gold mine. Yeah. I like George's Majestic Lounge on Dixon Street. That's my favorite place to go. So, Dennis thinks Iowa is one of the worst because what can change there? They can't score and they play the same type of football every year. And if they lose some close games, you're out. They just can't get the premier athlete up there. That's the big deal. So they have to play that way because they don't really have that team speed.
Look at their recruiting base.
Yeah.
I mean, they recruit cows. I mean, they don't have. I mean, there's no big schools in Iowa.
Yeah.
They got to go to Chicago, I guess, maybe, and get some guys. What they do there is pretty remarkable, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Russ says, I think Arkansas is better than Ole Miss. We're historically better than them and don't have an in-state rival to compete with. I think that last point's interesting.
That's a good point. Very good point.
Yeah, I think that does. You guys are it in Arkansas, no doubt.
Sure.
Lincoln Riley joins the show. He says USD is the most prestigious job. Take it from me.
Yeah, okay, Lincoln.
And LA's NIL reps are ready to bring the best to USC. So,
all right.
Brooke Burns says "Voy," FYI. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have? Here's the last comment on Arkansas basketball. 315th in the 3-point defense, 312th in 3-point offense. It's amazing they've only lost one, if that's the case. Yeah. All right, let's go back to the rankings here. Number 20, North Carolina. Why did you put North Carolina number 20?
I don't know. I think I might have been hallucinating on that one. it should be a much better job than what it is.
Yeah.
Chapel Hill, I've never been there, but everyone has told me that is about as pretty a place as you can be. Their field, their facility is just really neat. It's a place you should be better than what you're at. Probably rated them a little too high. There's just a lot of potential there with the ACC not being very good.
Russ says, and we need to address this. Russ says, have we seen Lincoln and Magic in the chat at the same time? Just saying. It's interesting. All right, we'll move on.
It is interesting.
Yeah, well, Russ, I can't say that I have, so we'll see what happens here. All right, number 19, Wisconsin. Yeah, I agree with that. It's year in and year out. The Badgers are right there. And how about this? Number 18, USC. USC. What do you think about that one?
Me?
Yeah, you ranked Tennessee, Auburn, Oklahoma. You ranked Oklahoma State ahead of you. This is a pissed off Papa dude.
No. I had listen. I've been thinking about this article for a long time.
Okay.
And I had them ranked there before Lincoln Riley ever went out there. I don't think it's that good a job. Now you think about it. How many years has it been since they won?
It's been a while.
I don't want to live in LA. Their campus is horrible. They play in a shitty place.
Yeah.
There is no college atmosphere.
Fan base is sketchy.
The fan base follows them when they're really, really good. Otherwise, they could care less. It's not a place. There's more to the job than what just went in there. Lincoln, well, you're going to find out. But anyway, I just don't like the whole. I just don't think it's that good a place. I just don't.
Look at this. You got Magic and then Magic's burner account talking here at the same time. I think it's better than Auburn, Tennessee, Oklahoma,
no way,
Oregon.
No.
All right. Well,
I disagree with you on that one.
Lincoln, I'm with you. I think it's better than number 18. You have Tennessee number 17. They haven't won anything in forever. I'm surprised they're 17.
It's a sleeping giant.
Yeah. Well, Mark says west of Oklahoma, USC should be the job. You're in LA. Young kids want to go there.
I don't think so.
Dennis says weather, girls, and LA. Just because you don't want to live there doesn't mean. And then Dennis cuts off. Doesn't mean it's not good, I guess Dennis would say there.
Okay, here's another thing. Now, Lincoln doesn't have to worry about this because they're paying him the moon, they're paying him everything.
Uh-huh.
Has anyone ever thought how much it costs to live out there?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to.
Tennessee. Wait a minute. Let's go back to Tennessee.
Go ahead.
Sleeping giant. If Heupel can get some players in there, they're going to come back and challenge Georgia. They have before.
That's a
beautiful place. Great place. Same with Auburn.
Here's why Auburn isn't for me.
What? Where would you rank them?
They're in the same state as Alabama.
I don't care. They've won like 2 or 3 national championships.
Yeah.
They've beat Alabama head to head several times. They should have beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I would rank them in the top 10 if they weren't in the state of Alabama.
Okay, I'll give you this. This one I can't give you. Oklahoma State.
Okay. Now, let's read my article again. Now, you look at the last 15 years and you look at their record, and it's better than almost anybody in the country, except your blue bloods.
Yeah.
Now, I don't like Mike Gundy, but I'm going to tell you something. He's doing a hell of a job up there.
Yep.
To win like they do in a state that doesn't care about them, there's a small fragment of the state that does.
Yeah.
It's remarkable. And you don't see that at some of these other schools where they have another school like Oklahoma to compete with.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong on the fact that he's done a good job. I just don't know that it's a top 15 coaching job in the country. I have a hard time getting there as well. And look at this: Stillwater versus Los Angeles.
There's not even a hesitation. Stillwater all the way.
Oh my God!
I don't want to live in Los Angeles where it takes me 3 hours to go to Walmart.
He's out of his mind. Okay.
Where I might get mugged when I go outside and take my 2-mile walk. Where are you going to walk 2 miles in Los Angeles without getting killed?
Well, you walk 2 miles in Stillwater, you see the whole town. So I guess that is.
I walked 2 miles in Stillwater, and I put my orange OSU shirt on. I'm in.
Oh man, I had a Papa Dude like rant, like try to bring one out of you today, but this is doing the job. I don't have to do it.
Yeah. Okay, I don't care.
Well, listen, and Mark hates California too, but he's 35, not 18. Kids, you know, they
wait a minute.
Quarter mile from any beach, says Lincoln Riley. He knows, he lives there.
The damn water's like 5 degrees out there. You can't even get in it.
Magic says he walks over 2 miles 7 days a week, only been held up at gunpoint 4 times. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, but you're probably carrying an AK-47 with you.
Well, Martin says Papa Dude's still stuck in the 80s LA. Yeah, it's changed. Listen,
no,
I've been out there. It's nice. I've never been scared in LA one time.
Well, good for you. I would like to just say, Stillwater. That is a cool name for a town.
Oh, God. All right. Number 14 is Texas. That's probably about right. I think
it should be much higher.
Huh?
It should be much higher than that.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a lot of politics you got to deal with, and they just aren't that great, right now, and they haven't been for a long time. And you take out the Mac Brown era, which you shouldn't take out, but if you do, they really haven't been good for a long time. So I think people kind of overrate that. Lincoln says 4 times, but at least Magic wasn't shot. See, he's still alive. Penn State at number 13. That's just a solid year in, year out job. Oregon, number 12, and Texas A&M, number 11. I don't really have any arguments with that.
Hey, you know what I heard today?
What's that?
It's Phil Knight, who's the head of Nike.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Donated $100 million to the Oregon football program.
Yeah. That's the thing. With Oregon, you're always going to have support. Yeah. So I definitely get it. All right. Top 10, I agree. LSU's number 10, or I agree they're a top 10 job. No question about it. Michigan, I think you got to say the same. Here's an interesting one, and I agree. I think Florida is a hell of a job. But man, up there at number 8, they've really struggled here recently. I don't know. And then this one really surprised me. You have Florida State at number 7.
They'll be back.
Yeah, but no, I'm not going to argue with you because
they're in the ACC.
Yeah.
Okay. If they can just get this turned around, I say if maybe Bobby Bowden was the only. Well, Jimbo won down there too.
Yeah.
There's no reason why they're not winning. There's just no reason why they're not.
They have it all. Great fans, great stadium, great campus, great recruiting grounds. Them in Florida are they should always be good. They really should.
But if you look at the history of Florida, they haven't been that good.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had one of the 2 of the greatest coaches ever. Say what you want to about Urban Meyer, fantastic college coach.
Yeah.
And Spurrier, who by the way won at Duke. That's 2 pretty good coaches. They've won really big when those guys have been there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all there for you for sure. You've got Notre Dame at number 6. A lot of people are like, Notre Dame. It's you're behind the times, but that's still one of the best jobs in the country.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Oklahoma at number 5. No argument there. I will maybe push back on this one. Number 4 is Clemson. Now, before Dabo got there, Clemson may not have been in the top 40. So
he's there now.
I know, but will the next guy have that kind of success? Is it easy to win in Clemson? I'm not sure.
A lot of people think Clemson's getting ready to drop a little bit. With Venables leaving, the athletic director left. There's a little bit of mumbling going on about some problems down there. I did consider that.
Yeah. I think they might drop just a bit. They weren't great this year, although, truth be told, they're probably a quarterback away from being in the playoffs. So let's not get it twisted. It's not like they were awful.
Right.
Awful compared to what we thought they would be, though, for sure.
Right.
The third ranked job is Georgia. I don't think you're going to get anybody arguing with that. And then 2, Ohio State, 1, Alabama. I think you got it right.
Well, Mark said you can flip flop those, and I guess you can.
Yeah.
The deal with Alabama is they have won consistently since college football began, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've had a few down years, but not very many. So it's not just Saban. I mean, Saban's taken it to a whole nother level that I know in my lifetime, which isn't too many years left, I'll never see anything like what he's done.
Yeah. I listen. I know sometimes you get frustrated because it's like, oh, the guy gets too much credit, but it's not that he's not good. It's just that everything he does is the greatest thing ever, according to the people on the TV.
You do get tired of that, but
yeah,
and I used to stand him, and I've gotten to where I kind of like him a little bit.
Same.
He just keeps doing this over and over, and folks, I'm telling you, no one else has ever won like he has.
And people start to take it for granted. Let me tell you, it's not easy to do that. And nobody else does, like you said. So would it be a bold hire for Deion Sanders at FSU? What do you think?
Stupid.
All right.
Nice guy.
I like 5 jobs: Appalachian State, Louisiana Cajun, Coastal Carolina, Western Kentucky, and UCF. Well, domination to lead to the bigger job.
That's good, Dennis. And I was going to do an article kind of like that. I was going to do the little guys, but I didn't want to.
Well, speaking of little guys, if you click on the top 20 worst jobs in the Power 5, oh, look, Vanderbilt. He's so sad. I was searching for a photo put on there. I was like, that's the perfect photo.
That is fantastic.
He's so sad because I'll put out number 1 here because we're not going to go through all these. But Vanderbilt is your worst job.
As usual, the doormats don't get any recognition. This is the only recognition they're going to get, and we can't go through like just quickly. There's only 20.
Yeah.
I went to a lot of trouble.
Listen, look at this. That's very nice of Russ to say. This is a really good list. I agree with almost all of it. Thanks for putting it together.
Well, thank you, Russ. Yeah. See, I want you to look at number 5. Well, no, go ahead.
He's so sad. Okay, number 5.
That's a great picture. Would you agree that Vanderbilt's the worst program in the Power of 5 conference?
Yes. 100%.
Wouldn't you hate? I mean, I feel sorry for those players because, they don't have a chance.
Yeah.
In the SEC.
This is why I'm glad Lincoln Riley's gone. UNLV is not in the Power 5, Lincoln.
No.
That's why they're not on the list. Kansas at number 2. Here's the thing about Kansas right now, without any question. It's a bad job. Mm-hmm. They should be better than what they are.
They should.
When they have a reasonable coach, they're not just
And Aaron, you and I've been there to football games, and I know their stadium's not much, but it's in a cool spot. Wouldn't you agree? It's on a setting down there, kind of at the bottom of a hill.
Yep.
I know this doesn't mean anything, but Kansas colors are so pretty. Their the stadium's kind of that color too.
Believe it or not, and people, they're going to die of laughter. It's a great place to go watch a football game.
It is. And the campus is just beautiful.
Yep.
And the field is down there by a little downtown type area.
Yep.
They should be better. And they used to be a long time ago. But since 2000, they are 80 and 180.
Yeah, I know.
They're on their 7th coach since 2000. And Mark Mangino won about 53 of those games.
And let me be very clear. Mark Mangino brought this team to the Orange Bowl. They lost 1 game. So
look at Arizona.
Yeah, so hold on. Indiana 3, Duke 4. I agree with both those. Arizona 5, I totally agree.
One more thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's another thing that we need to talk about when people say, why hasn't Venables took a good job?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Mark Mangino went to he was on the Oklahoma staff. I'm just using guys that were on the Oklahoma staff.
Yeah.
Mark Mangino went to Kansas. It's our number 2 on our list. It wasn't when he was there. Number 3, Indiana. Our offensive coordinator, Kevin Wilson, went up there every year, had him right on the edge of maybe having a winning season, couldn't get him over the hump.
Yep.
Got his ass fired. Number 5, Arizona. Mike Stoops went out to Bob's brother. Did about as well as you can possibly do in Arizona. Got his ass fired. Rich Rodriguez, another guy, had a high reputation. Got his ass fired. Kevin Sumlin, big time at Texas A&M. Got his ass fired.
Yeah.
That's what these jobs are. It's a get your ass fired job.
Yeah. It's a dead end. It's a dead end. even a place like Kansas, Mark Mangino got fired after that 2 minutes.
Well, he was too mean.
well, yeah. We'll go on Rutgers. I think that's a really tough job.
Horrible job.
Oregon State is a job. You know what? They've been good, but it seems like they're either really good or really bad. No consistency there. Syracuse, it's not good.
Syracuse doesn't belong in the ACC. That's the problem with them. I don't know where they go. Same with Rutgers. Where do you go?
Yeah.
They don't fit.
No. Illinois, tough job as well. California, Maryland. I agree with all these.
Maryland belongs to the ACC. They should never have went to the Big Ten.
Yeah. Georgia Tech is a team that it seems like, they might be good now finally, and they never really get there. I do want to talk about this. I feel like Colorado should be better than what they
should, but they're not.
They really do.
They're another one. Where do you put them?
Yeah.
They were better off in the Big 12.
Yeah.
The Pac-12, they're way away from everything, it seems like, you know. And you got the Denver Broncos to compete with there. Everybody out there loves the Denver Broncos. They don't care anything about Colorado.
That's true. A lot of people will do a double take at this one, but I 100% agree. Iowa State, that's not a good job. It's just not. And let me tell you something. Darren McCarty was there, and he had a run that was sort of similar to what Matt Campbell's having. And then he couldn't sustain it because it's impossible to sustain it at Iowa State. And he got fired. And Matt Campbell's going to do the same thing. I guarantee it. He needs to get out of there.
I will say this. The Iowa State fans are very realistic. I know a couple of guys here, and I know a couple of guys here in town that are Iowa State fan. You know, you've got some friends.
Yeah.
If they go to a bowl game, they're very realistic. That's been a good season for them.
Yep.
But they don't usually go to bowl games, and they kind of dropped this year under Campbell. They were all seniors.
Yep.
What's going to happen next year?
Trust me, I've heard some grumbling from some Iowa State people.
Well, yeah, because the expectations have been raised. See.
Yep. All right, let's move on. Boston College.
Yeah.
Seems like a dead end. Virginia always seems like a dead end. Wake Forest, really good this year. Usually they're not. Washington State, it's not a good place. Texas Tech, I thought that was interesting. What do you think about that?
I think they're right where they belong. Now, you got to remember, this was just group of 5.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
You got somebody. Yeah. But really, historically, they're 6-6 at the best, 7-5 maybe, other than when Leach was there.
Mm-hmm.
They've never been any better than that. And what have they got to recruit to? What have they got? I mean, Texas, Lubbock is in Texas, but God, it's not really. It's more like it's in Siberia. You know,
right.
It's nothing.
As take it from somebody that lived out there for a month. We lived in Amarillo, which is about an hour north of Lubbock, and it is in the middle of absolute nowhere out there. So I don't know how they get people to go out there. I really don't. And then finally, South Carolina. That's a job that has a hard ceiling that you're never going to break through. No,
and they need to be in the ACC.
Well. Yeah, probably they could compete better, but I don't think they're going to break through in the ACC either if they were there.
Now, you know, it's really an odd thing about, and I know when Lou Holtz was there, and by the way, he was god awful at South Carolina, and I think most people would think Lou Holtz a pretty good coach because he was. Spurrier won. And that's another place Spurrier won. It wasn't just Florida; it was Duke, and he won there too.
Yeah,
and he said, and Lou Holtz was the one that said it. When he went, he couldn't believe how rabid the fan base is at South Carolina. They've got a huge stadium that they fill it. It's like 80,000 people, and they're crazy, and they just can't compete in the SEC.
It's a little like Arkansas in that way, where their fans are always rabid for football, and they follow them, man. Even when they have tough times, they're around. The difference is Arkansas, like Russ pointed out, they're in by themselves in the state, and South Carolina's got Clemson right there.
They've got Clemson,
and not only that, they're more closely located to some other big schools as well. You know, it's like a Georgia. So yeah, the competition's a little tough, but they are a rabid fan base. I've spent some time in South Carolina on a couple different occasions, and there's a lot of South Carolina flags when you drive through those neighborhoods.
And the funny thing, when Spurrier was at South Carolina, and Spurrier's a quarterback guru, he couldn't get a first-class quarterback. If he had gotten a first-class quarterback like he was able to get at Florida, he might have won the national. He could have won a national championship there.
He may have, because they were good everywhere else. You remember those really good teams they had. They had NFL players everywhere but the quarterback.
They had animals.
Yeah, they did. The Clowney's either junior or senior year, they were very, very close to being a top 5 team.
And if you guys, if you never, you'll never get a chance now because he'll never coach again. But his coaching show, was absolutely the best coaching show I have ever seen.
Yep.
And the guy did the show right after the game.
Yep.
It was only like 30 minutes.
Yep.
If they won, it was hilarious. If they lost, it was more than hilarious. I mean, he would say anything.
Here's something. Yeah, it was unbelievable. I'd watch it every week. It was great. Yeah, because he'd still be sweating if it was hot from the game, and he'd be in there talking. He'd go put on a blazer, a South Carolina colored blazer.
Yeah, he would. Yeah,
it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
One advantage they had, they were in the SEC East, and that's I'm sure Arkansas and Russ, you can speak on this, would love to be on that side of it because when Georgia's not very good, all of a sudden that becomes wide open because Florida, like I said, have had their struggles. So yeah, they had a nice run in the SEC East, without any doubt.
Yeah, they did.
Texas Tech versus Iowa State as far as a job, I would take Iowa State because of what Mark said right there. Texas Tech has a lot of competition down there in Texas, where Iowa State, you're pretty beloved up in Iowa. You do have Iowa, but you don't have all those other schools. What would you take, Texas Tech or Iowa State?
Oh, I would take Iowa State in a heartbeat because of the location and everything. And I've been to Iowa State, and that's a neat place too. And it's a good college town, pretty close to Des Moines. I think in Iowa, there are more Hawkeye fans than there are Cyclones, but I think there's a pretty rabid fan base of Iowa State people too.
Yeah, I agree. I think there are. I think it's a good place. It's just not a place you're going to win big at. Russ says he prays for conference realignment. Russ, it's going to happen, and I wonder how it will play out with Texas and Oklahoma coming in. I think that would affect Arkansas. I would think they would be kind of. I've heard of like a pod of 3 or 4. I think Arkansas would be in there with us, so we'll see if that happens, Russ.
I'd just guess and say Arkansas, Texas A&M, and us.
That's what makes sense if we're going to do pods of 4. But I don't know if that was like just hypothetical type stuff. Who knows? But
I know the OU people that I was listening on the radio today about the basketball game and everything. Really are playing up an Arkansas-Oklahoma natural rivalry.
Yep.
Going once this thing gets all settled.
And it should be.
Yeah. They do play each other in other sports.
Yep.
They've kind of shied away from playing each other in football. And but they've played over the years in basketball and women's basketball and softball. And I think baseball some. So it would be a good rivalry, I think.
And Russ says he would actually take that, as crazy as it sounds. But yeah, I mean, if it's a pot of 4 and those are the 4 teams, it makes so much sense geographically. And Russ, it's going to be easier for you. I would rather have that than what you're in right now.
Well, yeah, and that's right. And you got natural rivalries there. Everybody hates Texas. And that would be a dream scenario there. That would be good.
Arkansas, Missouri, Mississippi State. Yeah, you can dominate that one, or at least be one of the top ones.
Yeah, I don't know where Missouri. Let's see. You got Missouri with Kentucky, Tennessee. If they did geographically, though, but that isn't fair because all 4 of those teams suck.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have to. I don't know. Well, the way they've got it now, the East is so much weaker than the West, but I don't know that it was that way when they started the SEC, when they added all those teams, because Florida was still good and Tennessee. So anyway, it's interesting to think about.
There's a lot to figure out. There's no doubt about it. A lot to figure out, and we'll definitely see it in the coming months. We'll see it play out. All right, guys, we've got to get off here because the Monday night game has started, and I've got to get home. I got to turn it on, I should say, and watch it and hope that my fantasy hopes stay alive for another week. So, last question: greatest movie you've ever seen? What's your all-time favorite movie? That's what I was going to ask you.
You know, I was thinking about that the other day, believe it or not.
Okay.
By the way, I watched a Billy Bob Thornton movie it was called Mr. Woodcock.
Okay.
He was the PE teacher.
Yes, very good movie.
It was pretty funny.
Yes.
Oh, I'll have one here that you. Okay, I got 3.
Okay.
I believe I can sit and watch Apollo 13 the best.
Okay, that's a good movie.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to win very many awards, but loved it. Yeah, Mark's got Hoosiers on there. I do like that one.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. Little hokey, but I thought the coaching scenes were horrible in that movie. That's something I didn't like about that movie. I thought Gene Hackman was good, but I thought he was horrible as a coach. I thought it was kind of dumb, some of the things. But anyway, it was a very good movie. And the more I watch it, the better I like it. Let's see. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You probably don't remember that one.
I've seen it.
I love that movie. I like that movie. Probably none of you young puppies have seen it. I like that. Forrest Gump is hard to beat.
Yeah.
It's a little too long.
Yeah.
It's a little too long. I'd say those are probably right up there. I'm sure I'm going to think of some. Oh, I love Sling Blade.
Sling Blade was a good movie. Yeah.
I couldn't find that the other night on anything. Couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I like Jack Nicholson very, very much.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson is the best. Curtis says. Russ says Tombstone, Wedding Crasher, Friday Night Lights. Those are 3 very different movies, but they're good.
What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
I
got so many.
Happy Gilmore, probably my favorite. And Big Daddy would probably be my second favorite.
I love Big Daddy. I think I laughed harder at that.
Yeah.
Than some of the others.
Shawshank Redemption, also great. What do you think of it?
Too serious.
Too serious. Dennis says, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I didn't know they made a documentary of Aaron's life. Russ likes
watch that.
Huh?
Dennis needs to watch that. It's a great movie.
Maybe they made it about you, Dennis. Who knows? No, it is a pretty funny movie, believe it or
Well,
not.
Jack Nicholson was fantastic in that movie.
Curtis, 50 First Dates. Come on, that's not that good of one.
No, I wouldn't have picked that as my favorite Adam Sandler movie. I thought Waterboy was pretty good, but a little silly.
Waterboy was funny, yeah.
Yeah, but a little silly. Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, fantastic.
Hot to Trot with Bobcat, whatever.
All right, he's off his. Yeah, Billy Madison. I agree, Mark. That was pretty good.
Anger Management was pretty funny.
It was kind of a different role for him.
Yeah, I thought it was good though.
Curtis, do you like As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson?
As Good as It Gets. That's a good movie. Yeah,
it was a great movie. He was OCD.
Yeah.
Remember he couldn't step on the cracks of the side.
Oh yeah, no, I remember it. Yes, I remember that movie. What about sports movies? What's your favorite sports movie?
Most of the sports movies are pretty shitty.
I love Miracle. I think that's right up there.
Yeah, that's good.
Major League is
Major League's I think it's my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
I like Bull Durham too. But I do like Major League a lot. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen was fantastic in that.
Major League.
You haven't seen As Good as It Gets, you got to.
Yeah. Lincoln says Rudy is his favorite. That's good. That's solid.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Miracle in Major League for Magic.
That's good.
Mark loved Jack as the Joker and Batman.
I've never seen a Batman movie either.
What? Oh my god.
No. Doesn't appeal to me.
Wow.
A movie I I like that movie with Michael Keaton when he was he was the guy who started McDonald's.
Oh, what is the name of that movie? That was a good movie.
That was a great movie. about I can't remember. They had a funny
Was
name.
it called The Arches or
No.
The Golden?
No, it was really a funny name. Maybe somebody will know. It was really good.
Yeah, he was really good in that. That was very good.
I like him. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, really, really good.
The Founder.
Yes, The Founder. That was good.
That was a good movie. I loved it.
Hey, I watched. Now listen, everybody that's listening, this is serious. I just thought of this. It's not a movie. It's a documentary.
Okay.
Oh shit, I forgot the name of it already. I just watched it. It's about this mobster who buys a hockey team for a 17-year-old kid. This is on Netflix. It's called Crimes and something. And anyway, he buys a hockey team. This mobster buys a hockey team for this kid, right? He's 17.
Okay.
And the kid puts together like this band of outlaws. And they install this attitude of we're just going to beat the hell out of him, like fighting, and there'd be 8 fights a game and all this stuff. And they pay these players huge amounts of money.
Well, this is real.
Oh, this is 100% real.
Okay.
It's in Danbury, Connecticut.
Okay.
And they pay these players all kinds of money under the table. And they're good. And these hockey players love these guys. And they just play their ass off. They end up finishing second in the league. But they were like the biggest hockey outfit in the country because the NHL went on. It was the lockout year. So they were getting like 10,000 people. And they had like a rabid fan base.
So has this got episodes or just
nope? It's one show. It's an hour and 30 minutes. It's freaking fantastic because you watch it first like this is going to be a joke. This kid, he was 17. He put together the team and he did an unbelievable job. And then when the NHL went on strike, he went out and got an NHL player who became their star. They paid him in all he would say a bag full of cash. And they paid him under the table and gave it to him to play the last part of it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch that.
End of the story. They didn't win. And then.
Oh, you blew the punchline. You blew
you know where it's going. The guy gets caught in his racketeering outfits that he has. And they got one season. But it's incredible. You need to watch it.
I don't want to now.
Yeah. The Mighty Ducks. That was a good movie, too.
That was good. Mystery Alaska.
Mystery Alaska, very good movie. Brian's Song, Jody.
That is way too old for you, Aaron.
Do you know it?
Oh, yes.
You like it?
Oh, sad.
Oh, really?
Oh, I remember when that first came out. It was a TV movie. And it was the story of a great running back for the – no, he wasn't that good. But anyway, Gale Sayers, you ever heard of him?
Yeah, no, I've heard of him.
Great running back for the Bears, and he was friends with a guy named Brian Piccolo, who was a running back. Well, anyway, Sayers took his job when he was drafted by the Bears, and Piccolo got cancer and died. Oh God, it was sad.
Jeez, that sounds heartbreaking.
It was a tearjerker. Yeah, there you go. Curtis is absolutely right. That was really bad.
Wow.
Great movie though.
Yeah.
Man, look at all these we're coming up with. We got The Sandlot.
Well, hold on. I'll get to this. That's a good question that Lincoln poses. Lincoln, you're being really friendly tonight. Mark says Slapshot. That's a good movie. It's a really good movie. It's hilarious.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
The Sandlot or Little Giants, Lincoln? I think The Sandlot would be my pick. I liked them both. I think The Sandlot's better than Little Giants.
You know, Lincoln is actually being the nice guy that I thought he was.
I know.
Yeah. This is the regular everyday Lincoln that I thought.
I feel like we now know this is definitely not Lincoln. I wasn't sure until tonight.
Probably.
Sandlot, what do you think? Sandlot or Little Giants?
Never seen Little Giants.
Really?
I don't think.
I'm with Russ. Sandlot easy for me.
Yeah, I like Sandlot. I tell you another old movie. This is a really old sports movie with Walter Matthau, Bad News Bears.
Okay.
Not Billy Bob. Billy Bob was that one very good. But Bad News Bears with Walter Matthau, fantastic.
Yeah. That's Bad News Bears is freaking fantastic. No doubt. This is good. 30 for 30 on the Pony Express. Have you seen that?
Yes, that's good.
Oh man, that's really good. 30 for 30 on Ric Flair. That's fantastic.
That wouldn't be good. But this one is really good. I did watch that. I thought that was fascinating.
Lincoln trying to win our approval and acceptance into the LA family.
Oh boy, that's too funny. You you're too good.
That's about all I got. I'm trying to think. Oh, Any Given Sunday is a really good movie too.
I not my favorite, but
you didn't like that one. Okay.
I didn't hate it. I'd say a movie I didn't like it because I don't like Kevin Costner. I didn't like Draft Day or whatever that was.
No, I didn't either.
No.
I didn't care for it. Tin Cup with Kevin Costner.
Oh God, See, we're thinking. Oh, that was good.
Tin Cup that's a freaking fantastic.
I can watch that a million times.
Tin Cup, and I know you didn't like this one as well, but I loved The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Yeah, I did. I like that.
I thought it was fantastic.
I thought, I did. It was really good.
Friday Night Lights.
That's good.
We like that one. Tim McGraw did a great job in Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, he did. He's pretty good in a lot. He was in The Blind Side.
Yes, he was pretty good in that. I didn't like that movie overall.
No, I didn't either, because I just didn't care for her.
Yeah, the same way I didn't like her. I like her in some other stuff, but not there.
She wasn't believable in that.
No.
2 girls, 1 cup.
No, that's not the prequel to that.
How about Kingpin? You ever seen that?
Yeah, I didn't. It's okay.
Woody Harrelson.
It was okay. White Man Can't Jump. How about that one?
Stupid.
You didn't like it? Okay.
No.
The Perfect Game. Oh, yeah. About that. It was okay.
I'll tell you another baseball movie I kind of liked.
Okay.
I loved it. And I don't like Clint Eastwood that well, but The Trouble with the Curve.
Trouble with the Curve was pretty good. Yeah.
That was great. That was a great movie.
Yeah. I knew what you meant. For the love of the game. It's the teacher, right, that goes and pitches. Isn't that what that one is?
Yes. That was Costner. The Rookie.
Maybe that's the teacher that goes and pitches. The Rookie.
He was the baseball coach at some place, and then he ends up.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and then he ends up going back and pitching for the Rangers when he's like 35. Yeah. That was pretty good. That was what's his name? Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid, right?
I know more about movies than I thought, and it's kind of pissing me off. It's kind of
I think you definitely know about
cover. Yeah.
I can't think of any more. I think we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we sure have a lot of. I mean, it's really
another one. The Natural. That's a great movie.
Oh God, that's one of my Russ.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so mad that I didn't say that one. Wasn't that
Robert Redford? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's not a baseball movie. Nah. We're talking about sports movies.
Rookie of the Year, the kid that breaks his arm. You probably didn't watch that one.
No. Sorry, Lincoln.
How about Angels in the Outfield? Did you watch it?
No. I tell you what I didn't like.
The Natural was great, by the way. Go ahead. What?
I can't think of the name of it, but it's where
Wildcats. I remember that one.
I do too. I didn't care for that one.
Remember the Titans? That was pretty good.
Oh, it's the movie where they Field of Dreams. I didn't like that one very much.
No, I didn't like it either.
That was too much. Mr. 3000, yeah. Bob Uecker in Major League was fantastic.
Yeah. Fighting with My Family isn't great. It's definitely it's a decent movie though. I kind of like. You wouldn't like that one, but it's
family.
The Natural. Lindsay says The Natural. It's funny because Lindsay's dad made her watch The Natural, and she texted me. She's like, "This movie sucks." I'm like, "You suck. This is a great movie."
That was a great movie.
Lindsay, did you guys win tonight? I need to know. Space Jam.
Get outside. Yeah, that's right. Just a bit outside.
That's hilarious.
I just thought of another movie I absolutely loved. It's not sports. It was Robert Redford, Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah. You've always liked that one.
I haven't seen.
I like The Sting.
Oh God! Now you're thinking of yes.
That was good.
Oh, hey, you talk about. Yeah, I've had to watch that a million times to really understand it.
Jody says Papa's not a movie watcher. That's what he said last time, but here he is. So
I know. I can't believe I know all these.
Well, let's give a shout out real quick to Lindsay. She wins her game tonight, 27-7. She's the coach of the junior high at Cassville, the girls.
Very nice. Very nice.
So, on to the championship game. I know, Lindsay, you were worried about this one tonight. It sounds like pretty easy wins. So congrats. And I think I'll be able to make it to the championship game now. That's great. That's awesome.
You're going? Did you say you're going?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go. Yeah.
You're going to Nevada?
I am. Yep. I am.
Okay.
Look at Lincoln. Lincoln says congrats to Lindsay.
I'm telling you, the real Lincoln has, he's come out.
Whoever this is, I love you, man. Or lady, whoever.
I think we know who it is, but anyway.
It's funny. We have more viewers now than we had throughout the entire show as we just get around and talk about movies.
We need to do one show a week, just shit.
Well, we do two shows a week.
Start out a little sports and then pick some goofy. We need to do TV shows next,
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree. Now, the movie, I expected you to list your movies and then we'd be gone. But yeah, we went down a rabbit hole here. Lincoln says, Lindsay, recruit those kids to USC.
They're girls, Lincoln. They're girls.
Well, he might. Hey, some of his football players at OU played like girls.
No, they coached him like girls.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's better. That's definitely better. All right. That's it. We're going to get off here.
We're going to get off here. My gosh, it's 7:35.
I know that the first quarter is going to be over by the time I have this posted. So,
yep.
Oh, here we go. History of Papa Dude's OU collector's items behind him.
Well, we'll have to do that for another show.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got some stories we can tell. We save it. We got to keep the show going. So.
That's right.
All right, guys, we're going to get off here. Good luck, everybody. Betting on Monday Night Football. We'll see what happens with that one. Hopefully, we're all happy on Thursday when we come back. Got a big show Thursday. We'll talk about a little bit of NFL, and then we'll do our bowl preview as well. So lots to look forward to, you guys. All right. We'll be right back here on Thursday. You guys have fun tonight. And thank you, everybody, for commenting and chiming in there. That was a lot of fun. So see you guys later. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Dudes Who Bet Sports.
So you want to bet sports, but you need some advice on how to cash in big at a heck of a price. Well, if you want enough money to line your shorts, then you're in the right place. This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.